Hey everyone, how's your reading going? I've got this little parcel. I have to be careful not to show the back because it's got someone's address on it. Now I knew this was coming, and I knew I was going to be opening this right now, and I forgot to bring the book that I was going to mention, or at least the author of the book I was going to mention the author. It's somewhere up on my to be read pile and I can't be bothered. So Marc Burrows, he wrote the unofficial biography of Terry Pratchett. He's a journalist and he delved into all the articles, and I don't know who else he spoke with, and he wrote the unofficial history. And it's on my shelf, and one day I will have the wherewithal, the emotional wherewithal, to be able to actually read it and see if it's as not good as I thought it was. Now, he has written, is it a musical or a play? I thought it was a musical. Anyway, he was going to be in Adelaide in February, and I knew all of this, and I could not get to February. I could not get to Adelaide in February. My life has been in upheaval for several months, actually much longer than that. And I wanted to go and see it, and I couldn't. And he brought a number of his books, and this book, Tales from the Roundworld, annotated and compiled by Marc Burrows. And I wanted to get a copy of this book because I thought it would be a good thing, and also Marc Burrows. I've read one of his books. I've forgotten the name of it offhand, but it's about David Bowie and Mark Bolan. And Marc Burrows is actually named after Mark Bolan. So I read that. It's really nicely written, beautifully written. I had very few bad things to say about it, and I think most of the bad things included typos. In fact, I think all of the bad things. It was wonderful. So I know he's a good writer. Being a journalist, I'd expect that. I've read books by journalists before, and when he offered to bring his book and who would buy one, I think he's probably sold out. And so some people actually bought, actually I don't know how it was arranged, but someone organised for those people who weren't in Adelaide or weren't able to get to the play, I think it's a play, who weren't able to get there, organised for those of us who'd said, yes, we would like one, please post, happy to pay by whatever means, fair means possible, not foul. Foul would be my psychic link if I sent them the money by psychic link. There is a problem with that. And the problem is that my psychic link is broken. So anyway, so someone from Adelaide arranged all of this, and so I paid the money, and a week or so later this came in. This came in, and magically it's got this book in it. It's only a small book. It's only, oh gee, that is small. 33 pages, I think. It's a 2024 Discworld Convention exclusive edition. So when they say Discworld Convention, they mean the UK. So the original Discworld Convention, and so this is few carefully chosen pieces. Okay, Terry Pratchett was actually a journalist before he started writing, so he worked in newspapers between 1965 and 1979, first as a trainee, then a journalist, finally as a sub-editor. Throughout that time he wrote a number of children's stories, had them published in the newspapers, often in different newspapers but under a pseudonym. And some of I think they've all the ones they have found were published in 2023 in A Stroke of the Pen, The Lost Stories. I've got that on my shelf as well. I think I've got that. Have I got that on my shelf? I'm looking with the wrong glasses. I can't actually see anything much on my shelf. So there's some good stuff that he wrote. This is what Marc Burrows is saying. There's some good stuff there. It's not all parish council reports or local wedding roundups, but there is a lot of that. So this is a few carefully chosen pieces that Terry Pratchett has written, that Marc Burrows has chosen to publish in this. I realised I was showing you the back. And I will read it carefully. It includes The Carpet People, but part 1. Now, The Carpet People, I didn't know that was in here. I should have looked this up. And then brought in The Carpet People. Because The Carpet People, I'm repeating myself, is Terry Pratchett's first published novel. And it was published as a novel in 1971. I think he was 21 at the time. And I have so much to say about Colin Smythe, the publisher, because he looked at this book by an unknown and he says, that's good, let's publish it. So he did. And it was messed about with, as Terry Pratchett says, in 2004. 1992, I think. I had to search back into the memory banks there in 1992. And you can see, if you read the original, which is hard to get, and if you then read the rewritten one, the one that Terry Pratchett messed about with, you can see the difference between an author with promise and an author who's got a lot of books under his belt and now knows what to do. A huge difference. Some of the differences are really small, and some of them are really marketed, and it's a fabulous thing. So anyway, I will enjoy reading this, and I'm hoping that they will do more of them. So The Carpet People Part 1 was first published in 1965. There we go. So that's that book. Thank you to the person I'm not naming for sending it to me. I appreciate that, and thank you to Marc Burrows for writing it. Now, you know the drill. Hit the button down below to subscribe or don't, as you choose. See you in the next one. Bye.